Hello, my name is Daniel Scuria-Herman, and today I'll be checking out Sick Friend by Aesop. Now, this lyric video was made by friend of the channel, Ravenous Catalyst himself, who is also the creator of this playlist. So, I don't know if that was loud enough to be picked up on the mic. I might have to put it in the camera audio for that one, but there is a very loud bird right next to me. And it makes it seem like there's like a hole in the wall right here where it's just a door into nothing.
Tune unto the forbidden channel. Thou mayest indeed tune unto the forbidden channel and see it like it is, baby.
I will say, this isn't just me saying this because Ravenous Catalyst is a subscriber, but I do really like the scroll here because it's very much the kind of thing I do in my videos. When I'm looking at lyrics, is like the scroll as I'm reading it. I think that helps a lot. So yeah. I just want to mention that just because like in other lyric videos, like the Slavic Travels ones that we've been seeing, it's just like verse on screen, verse on screen, verse on screen. But I know you didn't come here for me to talk about the video, so I'm just gonna move on.
Thou mayest indeed tune unto the forbidden channel and see it like it is, baby. Who should be our champion? What manner of channel beholdest thou? Shall it fall on me? Deceit.
I really like this intro. I really like how it's sort of like fading in and out. The repetition of channel is interesting because it's a word with many different definitions, especially considering the era. So including it with thou mayest, and then like record scratches, beholdest. It's really going back and forth here. Deceit is also an older word. I feel like deceitful is used more than deceit nowadays. But yeah, I think that the modern version of deceit is deception. I feel like deceit is one of those rarer words. Not that it's a bad word. I like deceit. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm not defending the word in the English language. I just really like the musical nature of it. It really took me by surprise when I first heard it.
I was thinking about my sick friend, stringing a ring around my wit's end. 13 loops later, his feet hung inches out the pig pen. Motley day goblins brought and pillaged the passive stillness with bad javelin tips dipped inside barreled black magic brilliance. Who rolls?
It is interesting because in the last one, he was talking about the goblin system as like sci-fi goblins, and now we're seeing motley day goblins, which I would take as more like fantastical and traditional goblins. So it's interesting to see this recurring theme of goblins and how it's demonstrated differently from song to song.
At the tomb of the unknown soldier to capture the fascist fragment choreographed in traffic dance and finagles. Hooked like sickle cells to the principles of camaraderie. One hope distortion honesty sputters itself to my how not example sample. Divvy the bread crust while considering the littering. I don't pity the head rush or the whimpering spill. Anchor the rock bottom packs a ravenous catalyst sprung a lack.
I think I might have figured out why Ravenous Catalyst likes Aesop so much and made this video. I feel like, okay. I don't know if I should have a whole segment talking about your username, but Ravenous Catalyst, I feel like it's a sort of thing that, at least to me, maybe it's because I've brought up this guy so much, but it's a word that doesn't, like, or I guess not word, but like a phrase that contains very little meaning anymore. So, like, thinking of it, it's hard to really put a definition to what he means. Rock bottom packs a ravenous catalyst. I guess like it's another way to say void, which would make sense in this. But I think it's just such a descriptive way of describing it. I'm not Aesop Rock. Such a descriptive way of describing it that it loses meaning and becomes a new thing. Especially in the way I encountered this phrase. it's interesting to sort of think about it that way. Because there's a lot of words that take on not only new meanings, but lose meanings as, you know, time goes on.
I'm choked when the caged bird sings and stings. Brings me out delirium to stitch them clipped wings. I sing.
I like that because a lot of a common thing in these Aesop rock songs, especially the ones I've been listening to lately, is reversal of tradition. And I think what's really cool here is we're seeing a new reaction to the caged bird sings. I really like how he sort of reinvents that, because none of these references that he includes, they don't feel like half-hearted, but they also feel inventive every time. Not only do they feel like they belong, but they also feel like he builds on them every time, which is interesting.
Instinctively break while I cling in a shrinking souls, mourning the tests of falling idle on to quality control. Oh, quality control. Stand still, string up the banner from the beehive to the anthill. Rag dummy, incorporate the unison of Viking ship rowers, plus the perfection of the twice the bird with half the stone thrower. Speak your assessments. My communicative hindrance bleeds the needs of a billion hungry victims. Grip by the hell that slipped the spinners and shivvied up the mass and made invalids leak marbles. One component short of shock and mass burial. Freeze. Broken penny bank fragments float up in stagnant seas. Dirty work plus applicants with chatterbox disease. Iron bandit. Give them the stars, their head balloons, and rudely ask for many moons, and I can't stand it anymore. It's like
Thinkest
that.
thou I fear thy sling? And the regulars were sore amazed. And they turned.
You know what this is? It's the same thing where it'll be so funny if this is actually the thing, but I doubt it is. But in a previous song, I think Hot Dogs? It was a previous Aesop rock song where the intro was from like a cult. There was a comment about it. I'll put the comment on screen because they explain it better than I did. Than I will, at least. But it was talking about a cult. And it was the last thing they said before they killed themselves. And that was the recording. So this could very well not be like a fresh recording. It could be like a sampled thing from history that I'm just not picking up. That would be interesting if that was the case.
I'm the mightiest slinger of them all. There is a time for war and a time for peace, a time to run and a time to split.
I really like that because if this is a actual like historical recording, he made that so musical. Like there was a time, the rhythm of it, having the record scratches make there be rhythm in the lines is really interesting, and it's a really cool, again, reinvention of tradition.
I'll run a funny race. Malnourished monarchs and loopy admirals where 99.9% swear by their broken axles. I build boats of a pack rat bats and bully club swung post-utility inhalants. Nail it to stability and sail it. Lopsided starboard bow, crooked mass makeshift. Patching holes with chewing gum and stitch a sailor thirsty faces. Or me sitting with my eyes tied to the cloud. I know that once that wind kicks up, you and your motors left rope to the dock and it's...
I found it interesting how many, like, historically, how many, like, sailors and I guess pirates too knew how to sew just because they needed to know, like, how to fix sails. That's just an interesting fact that I learned at some point. It could just be fake. I'm pretty sure I learned it in, like, a accredited educational manner, but that doesn't mean anything. But yeah, I find that interesting because it's like a reinvention of an expectation about these people, because you don't really expect like hardened, tough sailors to be sewing. So yeah.
Art of clarity, married to slender extension, a blue sky of a happy neighborhood. String on my ring left me dancing like wooden dummies in a tape of nature. Merry etiquette's a doornail, friends as little brittle dolls of paper in assembly. I tremble with a crocodile smile, hiding the fish at a water complex provided upon entry. Now if I were to halt the speed to navigate the game plan, which
I like that was like the longest lyric he had in this song. Now if I were to fall to speed. I really like that because it just takes a moment to really slow it down. That's really cool that he did that.
You honestly impede, I mean, I guess I could just divorce me from the rest and blame my chemical imbalance for the fact I've made a mess. But my loyalty supplied hints on which inklings I should run with. And I'm thinking that their town prior's about to fill this here bucket. It's that grand.
That's really cool. Because again, we're talking about chemical imbalances in the brain. Yeah, it takes me back to the whole perception of like jesters in history, because long ago, jesters and fools and that kind of thing, you can trace it back to a historical perception of, I believe, Down syndrome in noble families, and how because they were nobility, they could do whatever they wanted, but because they had these mental disorders, they couldn't, act normal, so to speak, or like act like a noble. So that's when this whole thing of like, oh, that's that one wacky relative gets to do whatever he wants. That's where that sort of thing came from, and then it eventually became a profession for jesters and fools who were allowed to mock the royalty where no one else would be able to. So, sort of looking at it like that, when he compares chemical imbalances to... He's not really comparing the chemical imbalance to the town crier, but sort of having the two of them put together in this comparison is interesting, because it brings me back to that.
And precious, that part of you wants to touch, and part of you just wants to sit and be impressed with. Tainted agony, inductive, barnacle attachment, mood swinging upon the bar storm through perpendicular traffic. Spread, circa 4,000 circuits, she burns cicada wings above Arcadia's talisman, spoon-fed shadow. I'm tired of being wired into the thief ratio. It's gnawing a hole through my scheme, so I leave. What I mean.
It was the Molotov cocktail hour. Have I not brought you blessings without number? They had plenty of nothing, and nothing was plenty for them. Ye have never had it so good.
That's the end, that's fellow.
You know what? Someone in the comments probably pointed out what the intro and outro, where that comes from. I don't think it diminishes the song if it's not, like if it's a fresh thing. I just, from what I know about Aesop Rock, I bet it's from something. Well, at least you have a positive comment section. Yeah, I don't want to say expect more information, but cool. Yeah, I really enjoyed this for the meaning especially, but I think the record scratches changing the rhythm in line was really cool. That was something I haven't seen before, not even from Aesop Rock. Yeah, I thought this was very cool. A sort of reinvention of tradition. I keep saying that, so I guess it has to be the title now. But yeah. Is there anything else? I really like this line. I think I laughed at it when it came out, but dirty work plus applicants with chatterbox disease. I really like that. Is there anything else I want to point out before I am out of here? I mean, nothing's coming to mind. So, anyway, that's going to be all from me. So, let me know what you thought of this song in the comment section down below. Did I completely miss the point? Did I have something somewhat smart to say? Let me know. Or was I just talking complete nonsense the entire time? It's very possible, either way. But anyway, that's going to be all from me. So until next time, adieu.